All right, so welcome to another episode of Gordon's Garage. We're going to work on a 1966 Chevy C10. In this episode, we've got a whole lot of work we're going to do to it. I guess we're probably going to lower it. I think we've got to put some HEI in it and brakes all the way around. Whole list of stuff. So I'll turn this camera around and let you get a look at it. So this is apparently a 1966 C10 short bed fleet side. It absolutely has the patina that everybody is looking for these days. It doesn't seem to have any through rust on the body, just some surface rust. A little bit right there. But it's not dented up or beat up. Sitting on in here on the lift backwards though, ain't it? It's got a little V8 in it with the old style Chevy heads. I imagine that's probably a 283. 2-barrel carburetor. Fuel tank sitting in here like maybe they had it running. A wood bed. Looks to be in decent shape. Oh, I think we got to put a fuel tank in it too. Let's see here. What do we got going on in here? We got all the gauge seems, or the dash seems to be there. Original style seat. I like the gun rack. The instrument cluster hanging out for some reason. And we've got a key solenoid hanging down here. Trying to get you a good picture of that. So what does that mean? Is it going to turn over? Is it going to run at all? One of those deals that I was on vacation for about a week and it came in while I was gone. Don't seem like it wants to run. So the fuel tank is absolutely missing. I don't know if we have it here in stock yet. Yeah, that's probably the tank right there. Yeah, that's behind the seat tank. So we've got that. And new mounting straps. Looks like we got a fuel tank sending unit. New fuel tank fuel hoses. We got mirrors. We got new master cylinder. We got brake lines. We got lower end block kit. Looks like we got some lower end springs possibly and wheel cylinders. So yeah, we got our work cut out for us here. Let's get this thing on the lift and see what it looks like. Since the fuel tank's already out, did they already pull it out while I was gone, or probably just was probably didn't have one in it. And I bet you the thing fires up and runs, but I believe we're going to put, from what I understand, the HEI ignition system in it anyhow. What is this here? I can't read what that is. It seems too heavy to be a HEI. I think that might be what it is. I gotta find my reading glasses if I can read the description on this. Let's see, maybe I can do like this. It says HEI distributor. Yep, so that's what that is. Wow, look at that little master cylinder. I wonder if this is the same exactly. No way. No way that's the same. Yeah, it is. Same little peewee. We'll get this truck up in the air and look under here and see what all is what. All right, so that wood bed is in amazing shape. I don't know if it's just been covered all its life or replaced before. But this truck is very, very untouched. Dual exhaust on it. I know that's not factory. Let's see, we got a little 3-speed in it. I mean, look at the rockers in this thing, man. These things are excellent. This is a nice truck. Look at the floor pans. This truck has sit somewhere dry for a long time. All the wheels, yep, the wheels are not locked up. Well, that one is. Anyway, that wheel's not locked up. Left driver's side turns very tightly. So, man, I'm just really amazed at how good a shape that body's in and the floor is in. Somebody has replaced the brake lines here before, but we'll do it again since we have new ones, or else, well, that one's not been replaced yet. That one's newer. This one has been done before, but we'll probably just do it again. Oh, I like the exhaust tips, bell shaped. Something you don't see often. Now, when we lower this thing, I think we've got lowering blocks and springs. So I don't know if we've got any kind of shock extensions. And then this rod, this pan-hard rod, I don't know what that's gonna do when we lower it. It will try to, I think it will try to push it to the passenger side probably. Man, look at under the doors even. It's pretty solid. Solid truck. Oh, that one was flat. see what we got behind drum number 1. Let's see what we got behind here. The brake shoes are pretty thin. Looks like somebody has recently done some hardware and some wheel cylinders. I mean, new springs. Huh. We were thinking it was going to need all that. But I don't think it will. We'll save it for another. I'll have to make sure that's going to move, though. Make sure those brakes are going to move. Someone has recently gone through this and put new wheel cylinders in. You see how clean that is back there? There's no fluid coming out. There's no corrosive buildup. So I'll open the bleeder screws on that in a little bit and see if anything will come out of there. It's possible we may not have to do anything to these brakes. That would be incredible. Okay, this side I can already tell it probably hasn't been done. There's more buildup on the steel line, and the brake bleeder looks factory, whereas that side, the brake bleeder looked like it was aftermarket. So I'm about to pop, try to get this drum, and plus this drum seems to be somewhat locked up. So I am going to try to pop that off of there and we'll get a good look at it. Sometimes I need a drum puller, but sometimes I don't want to tear the brake system up completely, so I just work it off of there. Yeah, that, you can see the inside of that drum is wet. Got a bunch of junk in it. Let me get the flashlight. Yes, this wheel cylinder is very wet. If I can hold on to everything here and show you, most likely it's going to have brake fluid coming out of the boot. Yeah. Well, also, man, it is impossible to hold the camera and work, but I'm trying. Anybody need a job as a cameraman? Oh, good Lord. Okay. So, I'm going to I'm trying to hold the flashlight and the camera and pull the wheel cylinder boot back. Okay, maybe now. Okay. You see in there. Good grief, come on. Right in there. You can see there's all kind of, golly, this is impossible. Yeah, if you see all the muddy junk in there, that's dried up brake fluid. So it's been leaking. Yep, same thing right there. See all the dirt, the junk that's coming out of there. Yeah, so we'll need to put a wheel cylinder on that side. The brake shoes look good. Have to clean them up. All right, well, we know for some reason they did that side over there, but not this side. Okay, so I got the front wheels off, I got the front drums off, and same situation on the front wheel cylinders. They do look like they've been replaced at one time, but they've just got so much junk built up in them. There's the brake line. I've got this brake line cut just so I could spin it off. Kind of getting ahead of myself here. But we'll get these brake lines done on both sides. And work our way. So far the brake lines are coming loose, so that's a good thing. We'll get all that done and work our way to the back. All right, here we are on the master cylinder now. I've got all the new wheel cylinders and brake lines replaced on all four corners. We will be pulling this off, bench bleeding the new one, putting it on. But before I put it on, I want to spray brake clean through this line and make sure that I'm clear on all four corners. Well, correction. We won't be bench bleeding it. Warning, do not bench bleed this brake master cylinder. And then it goes on to give instructions. So we'll have to follow that. All right, so I've got the drums back on it. I had to, let me think. I had to repack the wheel bearings with grease to get those drums back on. Got to put some new fuel lines on it. Hopefully that pump will be good. Let's see, where else am I? I guess while I've got it in the air, because I'm gonna have a little help bleeding the new master cylinder, I'll go ahead and get the U-bolts off back here, and we'll go ahead and get these new coil springs and lowering blocks mounted, and I'll show you. So we're just gonna hopefully pop these loose. They may come loose. If they don't, I'll have to torch them. I hope they come loose though. All right, let's see if this impact to take it loose. This is a 1 1/16. All right, so we've got the old U-bolt out. May be able to save that for something. See if we can lift this axle up, and yes, we can. So we're going to take this spacer and the new U-bolt. Put the spacer in there. just like that. It's just that simple. And gets the new bolts. You see, you get your spacer, get your new U-bolt, and we'll have some lowering springs here. Actually, these bolts are going to be too long by the time we're done. I guess we'll be cutting those. All right, so we got the rear spacers in. We got the new U-bolts, shock plates, and those are still a little bit long, longer than I like, so we'll probably at the end cut those off. We'll see how close they are to the ground when we're done. But okay, we're very fortunate. I just pulled this spring out, and usually, okay, this bolt, this bolt goes through here, through the frame rail, and screws into this big goofy washer here that holds the spring down. And 9 times out of 10, these will be so rusty that there's no way you'll ever get them apart. We usually have to torch them. Same up here. There's a pocket or a washer that goes inside the spring and holds that in, which I'll show you when I put that back together. But I'm very fortunate that actually unbolted. Okay, oh, spider web. Walked right into a spider web. All right, so we do have our new coil springs on. We've got our lowering blocks on. And I was trying to show you some things yesterday, and I just got so busy, but basically you take this bolt out of the upper frame, bolt out of the lower control arm. A lot of times those won't come loose. They've been just so old and rusty, but we got fortunate this time and was able to get those bolts out with no problem. So we've got all that done. In the back, we have a brake line right against the exhaust there. That's not good. I'm gonna have to, oops, sorry, my hand was in the way. I'm gonna have to think about, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to keep that over here. All right, so we'll move on to the front. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut the springs as we usually do in the front. I think we'll have to take these bump stops off and then cut these springs in the front. You've seen me do that plenty of times. I don't really think I need to show you that again. We just take the torch and I cut it a round and 3/4 off of it. And that usually sets it right about where we want it, even on these older ones. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to film that. Sorry if that disappoints. We'll show after. I've filmed that enough times. You could go back to some older lowering videos and watch that. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about this truck. We still got to bleed the brakes, get the fuel tank in it, get the motor running. We've got some wheels coming for it. I'm not sure exactly what they'll be. Probably about the same thing we always do. We've got all the brakes adjusted up tight. So once we get it bled, we still have to bleed the brakes. The thing should actually stop pretty good. The guy that had it before us, they had it running, and then it stopped running. He thinks the points started giving him some trouble, so we got this HEI, brand new HEI ignition and set of wires here that we'll put on it, and that should make a big difference in the way this thing runs. All right then. Okay, so we did cut the springs, and we've got those set in the pockets. We got the what do you call them? The bump stops cut off. So we're ready to put the front wheels on this and set it on the ground after we bleed. Got the rear wheels put on, and they are, because all you guys always ask, this is a 275/40/20 in the rear, okay? 275/40/20 in the rear. And in the front, we have a 245/40/20 in the front. Now don't ask me, it's US mags. Don't ask me how wide the wheels are. 8 in the front, 8 inches wide in the front, 9.5 inches wide in the back. Okay. So get that in your heads. Quit asking me. Right now our painter is painting the wheel wells.
What?
Okay, so we got it all bled. We're gonna let it down. Probably want to run that steering wheel back and forth. All right, so she's on the ground. We're gonna move her forward and see where she's at and gain access to the cab so we can get the fuel tank put on it. I have a feeling it's gonna have to be lower in the front. Well, no, it's sitting on the jack, so to go lower. Okay, so we've got power at the points. Turning the motor over, but nothing yet. I'm gonna see if we got any spark at the spark plug wire. I might have somebody to turn the engine over though. I wonder who I can get to do that. Can you? Yep. If we got any sparky. Yeah. Darn it. Try it again. Okay, so we've lost. Either we've run our battery dead or we. Oh, shoot. Good gosh, that thing was hot. All right, hang on. Go ahead. All right. Oh, hold on a minute. We ain't got a good connection up here.
Battery might be
Try that. All right, hold on. All right, go ahead. Yeah. All right, yeah, I'm not getting any spark out of there for some reason. That's good for now. It's probably still the points. Okay, the big moment. We got the points cleaned up. Checked for spark. We've got spark now. Now we're going to see if she's going to run. Okay, Scott, see if she'll run. Yep, she's gonna run. Imagine that. First time in 70 years. No, I don't know, what, 30 years? First time in 30 years. And she is alive. So we just gotta get fuel up to the carburetor now. I wonder if I should, well, we gotta get the tank in it. I just wonder if I should pull that off and check that filter. He probably didn't, did he?
I don't know.
I mean, it don't look like it's been pulled off in a long time. All right, so we're coming along good on this thing. We've got the thing lowered. We've got the wheels on it. We got the engine running. It's sitting right, I can tell you that. We've got the new fuel tank sitting here. I'm getting the new sending unit and pickup tube mounted in it. I've just got to round up some screws to fit that. So, because when it came in, the fuel tank was missing. It's kind of hard to film when everything's so close here, but yeah, this thing, when it fired up, first time it's running about 30 years. Besides, I think he put all that new ignition in there and had it running briefly. So we're getting ready to find out if this fuel pump and this carburetor are going to be any good at all. We're putting the fuel tank in it to get some fuel to the carburetor or to the fuel pump to see if it'll pump. So I've got to get this fuel tank sorted out since it came in without the fuel tank. Somebody had already pulled it out. So I've got to get all that sorted out and get it in here and get some fuel in it. And then maybe we'll have it running on its own. It'll be braking on its own. And this thing will be drivable. Here in no time. All right, so we've got that tank sitting down in there. We don't have it mounted yet. We have to put our fuel line to it, get the fuel tank straps bolted back down, and then I've got to work on getting this filler neck connected, which looks to be probably a pain in the butt. So we'll see how that goes. But it won't stay running. I don't know what's going on yet. I can't find the choke.
It's hanging under the dash.
But it won't. Oh, it's not hooked up. That may. All right, so here on the 66, We put the gauge cluster back in. It was hanging out for whatever reason. Put some new switches in. Got all that back in order. Let's see, what else did we do? Some brand new wipers and a brand new antenna over there. The antenna was missing. And what was you up here cussing about?
Headlights.
Oh, headlights. Got some new headlights. Did we see if they work yet?
Not yet. Negative.
No headlight power for some reason. All right, so the 66, sorry about my fingers again. Scott's gonna put a little drive on it to see if the thing shifts. Again, this is 30 years since the thing has run or driven. We'll see what he says when he comes back. How'd it do?
Runs good, shifts good, stops good, all the things.